On today's half-assed product review, a 16 megapixel generic Chinese supposedly 1080 camcorder in 15 frames per second to begin with. Anyhow. Alright, for a half-assed product review today, I got a DV 1080p video camera. And for the cheap little video cameras that they like to sell on Wish, it's actually a complete package with a light and screen that swivels around, but that has its issues, and I'll get into that here in a minute. But might as well just show you right off the bat a picture I took with it and how this thing can film. Anyhow, let's look at it. A little semi that's being filmed by an FPV camera, seeing how well this piece of shit films. Look at it, look at it go, look at it go. That costs more than my old truck. Oh, that's expensive. Yep. Now, when I was filming that the video of my buddy's little RC semi, I was filming in the 720 mode on this camera, because in the 1080 mode it films in 15 frames per second, which looked really bad. I didn't even save the footage of it because in the LCD screen all I could see was it just blurring by. It was just a little red blur and then choppy, and it wasn't good. And so I put it into the 720 mode, and it did not film that well, as you can see. And the microphone also picks up a little noise. I don't know if that's a product defect or anything, because other than that, the microphone on it's pretty good. This little camera, it has a little thing on here that I want to give a little explanation on too. Is the little 3.5 millimeter jack right there, which in most cameras like the one that I have right here, it has two of them. One of them is for the mic input, like I'd use for my VidPro, and another one for some headphones, so I could actually hear what I was filming better, or for whatever reason you do that. Now, that's for these things. You know what these are? These are composite video cables with your RCA jacks on them, and that's what that port's for. But let's fire this up, and I want to get into a couple of things with this. Makes noises, and it tells you welcome, and then shows you the thing, and it immediately goes into its picture mode, which also isn't the greatest. And that picture that I took was in the standard mode that the camera would take pictures in. You just hit the mode button and it changes it to the video camera. It also has a recorder function in it, which, if it's not picking up the noise, could actually be useful, and I might use that in the future. Doubt I will. But that picture that I took was in the standard picture mode of my dog just on the floor of my messed up studio. And I did take another picture with it, and I'm going to explain another thing about this camera. Is it claims to be 16 megapixels. If anybody actually knows a thing or two about megapixels, like the Canon Vixie that I'm filming this with right now, I think has 20.1 megapixels. But it all doesn't mean anything if the video sensor in the camera, in which this one is just like a really cheap one that you'd find in like a cheap cell phone, like older phones and cheap cell phones. That's the kind of camera that this thing films with. And the best thing that I can equate that way it films is an old webcam. And does it film in HD? No, it doesn't film in HD. It actually films in standard definition and just upscales the imaging to 720 and 1080. Now turned off. It's the least of its problems. But this thing did come with a rechargeable battery. This is the Nokia BL57, I think, or BL5, whichever one's the most standard one that you find with a lot of these cheap Chinese products. It is rechargeable via USB, I think, A connector. That's not a big deal. But the one thing I do like about this camera, I know there's actually likable things about the camera, is that unlike my, well, let's grab it. Unlike the on camera from Walmart, it has a light on it. And the screen swivels. I'm going to show you right here. I'm going to show you right here. If you notice where the screen swivels, the image doesn't flip itself. And there's no setting in this camera to flip that image. And that's the thing I really don't like about it. But when it comes back to the thing of megapixels, let me turn this off, is that megapixels don't mean anything if the camera doesn't have a photo sensor that can make the best of use of it. And I'm going to show you this camera taking a picture with its highest picture quality. And my older Samsung digital camera that I usually take pictures with, that only has, I think, 7.1 megapixels. And also, the last thing I want to get into, and I've made a mention of this on anything that I've had a video with a camera on it, is the tripod screw on the bottom of it is not 1/4 20. So I'm not sure what size it is. I don't have a little thing to check the threads on it. I kind of trashed the threads putting it on the tripod for the beginning part of my video. I figured it was better to start off by just showing you what the hell the thing can do, and that's what I like to do, is just to get to the point instead of doing a half-assed unboxing video and not showing you the damn thing. But if you were thinking about getting the DV 1080p camera from wish.com, there's a link in the description to it. It's not the one that I bought, it's actually cheaper. And thank you for watching. Hey, we're off-roading, and I'm actually not driving. Yeah, we're off-roading in a car, in a Mitsubishi, in a DSM that has 205,350 something miles on it, and it's doing just fine.